Welcome to Manifesting Peace, a place where we'll try to figure out ways to be happy with who we are, where we are, and when we are. Today I want to talk about one of the shortest words in our vocabulary and one of the hardest ones to say. And that word is no. So, the power of no. We're accustomed to saying yes to everything. At least some of us are, right? Even though it hurts our very soul to say yes. For some reason we say yes. And then we deal with that pain internally, right? Like going places we don't want to go, doing things we don't want to do, helping people who are Johnny-come-latelys, who only contact you when they need something. We always manage to say yes, and then we feel resentful and we feel hurt. So how do we get rid of that? How do we learn to say no? Because when you do say no, it's like a whole weight has been lifted off your shoulder. Despite the look on their face when you say no, it's like a whole weight has been lifted off your shoulder. So, why do we say yes? It's because it's easier to say yes, right? Than to deal with any of the ramifications of saying no. Right? We don't want to hurt someone's feelings. We're afraid to be looked at as a selfish person for not helping. And, and basically you're upsetting someone. That's basically what it's going to come down to. And we're worried about what they think of us, right? So we're worried that they're going to say, hey, this person is this because I asked them for help and they didn't want to help me. But, at some point, you have to start looking out for you. At some point, your feelings and your peace of mind is going to depend on you. So how do we say no gracefully? Well, I don't think there really is a graceful way to say no. Some will disagree, but I don't think so. I think you just have to get accustomed to saying no. You have to start practicing saying no. They're going to come to you over and over again. But once you start being consistent and doing the things that bring you joy and saying no to the things that don't bring you joy, people eventually will stop coming around and asking, or at the very least, they'll curtail their asking, right? You're going to have to be comfortable with hurting someone's feelings at some point. You're going to have to just lump it because it's either their feelings are hurt or you feel like crap because you're now going to do something that you don't want to do. Let's go to the club. No, I don't want to go to the club. I just want to stay home and chill. Well, you're not a really good friend. Well, so be it. I'm going to stay home and chill. You go to the club. Have at it. There's a plethora of things, plethora of scenarios. So let's get clear. Your friends, your true friends, are going to understand that there are certain things that don't make you feel good or don't jive with you. And they will not try to make you do those things, right? It's everyone else beyond that tries to guilt you into something as if you're really hurting them by not doing the things that would bother you. So let's get into the habit of seeing the things that we don't want to do and that make us feel some type of way, and recognizing that and protecting ourselves first. No is not a bad word, but it's a very powerful word that can lead to your mind being clear, to you being in a state where you're not bothered. And that's a very powerful state, right? There will be situations where you're going to have to lump it and do things, but it won't be 10 out of 10. It'll be maybe 3 out of 10. The other 8, you're going to be feeling at peace with yourself because you're not doing things that you do not want to do. And I think inherently that's what it boils down to. A lot of the times that in the back of our mind we're saying, no, I don't want to do that. It's because we know that it's going to ruin our peace most times to say yes. So I would just ask you to practice saying no. Figure out those things that you do not want to do, and when they come up, say no. I'm not going to go into a Nancy Reagan thing for those of you who are my age. I'm not going to do it. But definitely figure out ways to say no to the things that bother you. People will never stop asking you. And the more you give those people, the more they're going to come back and ask you for. So maybe set expectations that this thing that you want to do often, or if you haven't contacted me like in forever and all of a sudden you need a favor, you're more than likely going to get a no. More than likely. And I think that things would start to turn around for you if you're that type of person that's always said yes. Saying no at work is a little more tricky, right? Because it has to come with some sort of explanation. But I mean, there are certain situations that if you're working, and they ask you to work, overtime every night, and you say no to one of those nights, I'm sure you're feeling that if you say no, there'll be some ramification. But what are the ramifications of saying yes? Do you go home and take it out on people? You're upset, you're annoyed that you had to work? Or is the temporary pain of saying no better than the long-term pain of saying yes? Those are the things that we need to figure it out, right? So at work it's a little tricky. Those are waters that you're going to have to navigate on your own by feeling and see how that goes. But even at work, saying no shouldn't be a bad thing. And I think this may be where I end it. I'm making little short audio clips for things that are on my mind at the moment. But this has been on my mind for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, because I've been that type of person that has always said yes, and at some point there was a turnaround where I just started to say no because of the things that I was being asked to do I did not want to do. I did not feel comfortable. It gave me anxiety. I just don't want to do it. And if I don't want to do it, I don't think I should have to do it, right? For my own peace of mind, I don't think I should. And a lot of people won't understand that at first. And there'll be some people who will never understand that. And that's okay. Because they are who they are. And you are who you are. And they guard their peace a certain way. You should be able to guard your peace a certain way, right? In your very own way. So, again, learn to say no. Not everything warrants a yes. And you'll see that the stuff that warrants a yes eventually become clearer. And you won't always have to say no. But say no to the things that do not bring you joy. Alright, guys? So I guess I'll catch you on the next one. And talk to you again.